Hello, and welcome to today's video. Yesterday couldn't do a T1 Anyone's Legend preview, had a family emergency. Did make a prediction in members only post real quick. Had T1 3-2, which is the result. Pretty easy prediction in my opinion. T1 and LCK actually did a good job showcasing their dominance against the LPL in Worlds and best of fives. I mean, now they're 12-0, and that is what it is. Talk about this series just real fast because I didn't talk about the preview much, even though this is a Gen.G KT preview. You think you think about what was going on in the beginning of the tournament. I kept reading before T1 even started struggling in the early parts of this tournament that they were preparing for Fearless Games 4 and 5, looking at their champion pools, trying to figure out compositions, because late in these series is when it's going to be make or break. And in today's series, you look at Game 5, Game 4, even. Game 4, you see that Blitzcrank is picked. Well, Blitzcrank hasn't been picked all tournament long. That's the first time. And that's not too crazy of a pick, but still, it's the first time it's been picked all tournament. And then in Game 5, Mel and Seraphine are picked. And keep in mind, too, Kaisa is picked in Game 4. Supposedly, Guma can't play Kaisa. Well, he ended up leading the team in damage on Kaisa, getting 11 kills, winning the game. Goes to show that maybe the people that say that Guma has a champion pool issue, I mean, I think they're pretty silent right now on the whole Kaisa bit. You get boisterous, and then when the rug gets pulled out from under you, you kind of go into a shell and hide under a rock. It is what it is. Not to say he's the greatest Kaisa in the world, but he showed up in Game 4 today. But then Game 5, you see Mel and Seraphine, two picks we haven't seen all tournament long. And he did play Ashe, and he dealt the most damage, but Mel and Seraphine were two very interesting picks. And Faker did very well on Mel. I think the Seraphine was kind of meh, but, it came down to the wire. That was a very tight game. That was a very great series. Anyone's Legend deserves a lot of credit. Draft-wise, I think taking Tarzan off of carries, we think of Tarzan going into this event as the only jungler that had a very, very high damage share for his team. His ROI was the highest out of all the junglers at this event. We look at Swiss Stage, it remained the same. Going into quarters, he had a 1 point. I think I had him as one of the top junglers in my all pros for Swiss Stage last week. And he had like a positive 1.1 share differential. Now in games 3, 4, and 5, J4, what was game 4? Oh my God, it was another facilitator though. Skarner, and then Sejuani, and that's just not going to work. That's not going to work. Tarzan is the guy that they were giving the ball to and carrying games, and it wasn't happening. And in the end, they lose, and I think that was in part due to it. They took the ball away from Tarzan. Now, in terms of Gen.G KT, KT beat Gen.G in the LCK playoffs in the upper bracket, 3-2. Very surprising win. A win that really, I think, one, I mean, hell, it got KT to Worlds, but then two, Gen.G, it kind of woke them up and made them start thinking about how they need to prepare better and respect their opponents, etc. And then Gen.G beat them 3-0. So we look at this season in general. I think I just did it. So T1 HLE and Gen.G had played each other 35 times or 33 times or some shit. KT and Gen.G have played each other 18 times. Gen.G are 14-4. 3 of those losses coming in that one best of 5. Otherwise, they have 2-0'd them, 3-0'd them, and then 1-2-1. Definitely a lopsided series score. I'm surprised how dominant KT was into CFO. I think that Gen.G do have to take them seriously. If Gen.G do not take them seriously, they could lose again. But if Gen.G do take them seriously, I mean, it's going to be tough sledding for KT. I think, KT's win conditions would be Cuz and BDD. It still remains the same. Those two make everything go, BDD in particular. Now, Duck Down played decent in their playoffs, in my opinion. Well, not playoffs, but in their quarterfinal matchup. You know, semifinals is a big deal. This is for an opportunity to win the event. It's hard to really go over it too much in that it's really there's tough semifinals. This is a tough semifinals, and it reminds me of what I've said throughout the tournament a few times. The best teams don't. The order of finish does not represent necessarily the best teams of this tournament. The best teams of the tournament very well could be players that teams and players that dropped out in quarterfinals. Like Cuz and BDD are very good. Peter played an excellent series against CFO, but that's against CFO. That's against Kai Wing. Yeah, what are you gonna do with that? You know, and Gen.G have just so many carry threats. I mean, that's the thing. Gen.G have the best team. They've had the best team all year. It's not a big surprise. It's not something that I'm saying that's profound. Everybody sees it. Gen.G have had the best team pretty much all season long on paper since it was formed. Even with Duro in the support role, it's kind of like, HLE might have a better team. But Duro has performed excellently at this event and down the stretch here and continued to develop and you know, at MSI going into it, he was kind of okay, whatever. But at Worlds, I think he's taken another step forward in a big way. And against KT, I mean, Peter's going to have to match that. Peter is going to have to match that. And Perfect's going to have to play the series of his life into Keen. I mean, this is where you are in Worlds. You are in the World semifinals. This is when you have to play the series of your career. This and finals. This is for all the marbles. You might not get another chance at this. Look at a player like BDD. This is his first shot. Keen, it took him how many years to get here? To get to be a player that has a chance to win Worlds. You know? Chovy, it took forever to have a chance to win Worlds. It's one of those things. It's one of those things. So, I mean, these teams know each other very well. KT did beat Gen.G recently in a best-of-5, despite losing to them all season long prior to that, and in dominant fashion for Gen.G. It's just, if Gen.G can neutralize Cuz and BDD, it should be a pretty easy series for them. If they can't, it's going to be hard. It's going to be a handful. Those two are the ones that are going to make or break it. So, I mean, what's there really to say? What's there really to say? I mean, I got to do like 4 videos today. I'm going to try and get the T1 Tez one done after this. So, thank you for watching. If you liked the video, like it. Subscribe to the channel for daily League of Legends content. Follow me on Twitter, join the Discord, become a YouTube supporter, and hope to see you again tomorrow.